much for joining me for my unexpected preview of Florida at South Carolina. First of all, if you don't know me, I'm Bobby Dirkens. And I pull for these guys, not South Carolina. Hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. It's a big deal. Clemson, even I utter the words right off the bat, Clemson. Can't help but say Clemson. South Carolina comes off of a big win. In fact, they gave us one of the early Christmas presents of the season. Shutting up overzealous Georgia fans. Now, I got a good Georgia following. I ain't picking at all of you. I have respect for Georgia. I'm just trying to put out there once and for all, we don't care about your recruiting class if you keep pissing talent away. South Carolina beats them in Athens and gets rid of having to hear them talk about how great they are. It's a live stream right now. I got a bunch of people saying may there to me. Edward Craven, Sean D. A bunch of you saying may there to me, may there to you. Now, I ain't ignoring you, but I'm going to jump right into this. But I thought I'd do a live stream while I'm uploading my preview of Clemson and Louisville. You'll want to see that one. It'll be life-changing. Brittany Hood's on here, a bunch of you on here. So, it is no secret that Will Muschamp's first head coaching opportunity came at the University of Florida. You know, the hotbed of the recruiting trail in the state of the United States. Not going to sit here and beat down on him because, quite honestly, Will Muschamp has already won. See, for South Carolina to get rid of him, they have to pay him like $18 million. So win or lose, he's already won. Muschamp's first coaching job at Florida went over like a dirty joke at a eulogy. An old woman's eulogy. A Bible-carrying front row Southern Baptist woman's eulogy. Not that good. So South Carolina starts off, doesn't look good. Lose North Carolina. Come back around a few weeks later. Lose here and there. Got trounced by Missouri. But they beat Georgia, so thank you. Helinski goes out. Even beats Georgia with a third-string quarterback who throwing is not really his thing. And now they have Florida coming to town. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say this about Florida. Florida, the greatest thing that ever happened to them, and I'm not going to sit here. Real quick, just want to say this. Edward Craven, thank you for buying Bobby Dirkens a beer. I really do appreciate it. $2 worth of ice-cold joy in a can. Appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. And I'm not going to stop any of y'all from buying me some beer. I can use it. Thank you, buddy. The best thing that happened to Florida, and I'm not going to talk trash about somebody, I'm just going to say this, because this is somebody's son. I wouldn't want anybody talking about Bobby Dirkens Jr., Bobby Dirkens Jr. like this. But for some reason, the coaching staff was going to continue to put Felipe Franks out on the field when he was not proving anything. He wasn't. Wasn't proving leadership skills. Wasn't proving great play. I know people talk about, oh, you know, he did really good in practice. You know, the game's won in practice. True, but when you get into the game and you ain't doing so well, then you have to throw that theory out the window. Unfortunately for Felipe, he gets injured. He's done for the season. A guy who has not started a football game since he was playing in the backyard with his grandmother is now leading them, and they only got their first loss the other night, LSU, and quite honestly, even though they lost 42-28, that was a fight for anybody who watched the game. But Vegas says that Florida's only a 5-point favorite. And for any of y'all who pays attention to that, you know that means that basically they're saying this game could go either way. Let's talk about numbers. Now let's put aside that I despise the Gamecocks more than I despise ISIS. We're just going to talk pure numbers here, starting off with Florida. Now, Florida, they got Kyle Trask. That's that youngin' who hadn't started the game since, as I said, his grandma died. She actually died the day they played their last football game. Very bad for him. He's thrown for almost 1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Ryan Helinski will be back, by the way. Ryan Helinski will be back. 103 out of 164 passes. About a little over 1,000 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Real quick, Washington Huskies, may there to you. You just bought me $5 worth of beer. Thank you. I am going to drink that beer. Every one of y'all think I'll just drink these beers and go, next. No, I'm sitting there going, this is for Washington Huskies. 3 hours later, this is for Washington Huskies. No, I don't get delivered. Thank you so much. You've always been a great supporter of the channel, and thank you, Washington Huskies, for your super chat. Appreciate it, buddy. Ryan Helinski, let's move on to rushing. I said rushing, not Russian. No collusion here. P. Ryan, 86 carries, 392 yards, 4 touchdowns. Dowdle, 77 carries, 449 yards, 4 touchdowns. Notice his name is not Tavian Feaster. Kyle Pitts on the receiving. Guy can play football, really good football player. 30 receptions, 362 yards, 3 touchdowns. Brian Edwards, really good wide receiver. 33 receptions, 426 yards, 4 touchdowns. Here's where we need to focus on the game. You're going to see this in just a second. Their scoring per game, very, very close. Very close, okay? Florida averaging almost 32 points per game. South Carolina averaging almost 29 points per game. Yardage, very close here. Florida's averaging about 429. South Carolina about 410. Very, very close. Passing, 288 for Florida, 216 for South Carolina. 140 on the ground for Florida. South Carolina's actually got a pretty decent hand up in this and 193 yards. Defense is where we're seeing a difference. Now, Florida has a really good defense. Think about that. They're averaging 310 yards per game, only allowing that much. South Carolina, 403. Now, I know they played well against Georgia. I'm not going to take that away from you as much as I'd love to. But I actually think Florida's going to give you a little more trouble than what Georgia did. Even though Georgia had that great running game, but listen to me, Georgia's had great running backs for years. And they still managed to lose 2 or 3 games a year. It's a gift they have. Y'all give up about 400, a little over 400 yards per game, 259 in the air, 144 on the ground. Florida, on the other hand, they give up about 310 per game, 200 in the air, 110 on the ground. So what does this mean? A bunch of numbers? South Carolina's more hyped up than they could ever be. Florida's coming off of a heart-wrenching loss. I know they lost by 14, but that was not a blowout. That was a fight in LSU on a Saturday night. What does Ole Bobby Dirkens think about it? First of all, Florida does have a problem running the football. 2 things separated them from LSU the other night. Trask played a really good game, threw for over 300 yards. He did throw 1 interception. That's one thing. That's one big thing. Next thing is, P. Ryan cannot find running room. Florida is not giving him opportunities, so that might actually help you. It might help you stop Florida. The problem for y'all is that Florida's got a really good defense. Only reason they gave up 42 points the other night is because their offense kept putting them back out on the field. I mean, really. They really did. Kept putting them back out on the field. And just Burrows is just a little too slick this year. Now, had Trask been in his second year, would that have been different? We don't know. That's a bunch of ifs, and ifs can get annoying, right? If I was 6'3", 255 pounds, ran a 4.3 40, I could play in the NFL. Well, if it's not there. So you have to be careful with that. I will say that, but I believe the difference in the game is going to be Florida's defense. Florida's defense is going to be the difference in this ball game. SEC Football Tube, one of my favorite followers on here. He is a very big Gamecock fan, showing that I can reach across the aisles with a clean hand. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Very clean hand. Wash my hands. I did not. That wetness on it's not urine. For other people, maybe, but not you. And one of my favorite people right there. But it's going to come down to Florida's defense in the game. I think this game will be close. I think Florida's going to be hungover from the loss. I think that South Carolina's going to be jacked up from the win, right? I think that they are going to be so happy to have come from Athens to South Carolina happy. They beat them. One of their biggest rivals, aside from Clemson. And they beat them. Now, South Carolina has lost their darn mind and think they're now going to beat just everybody on the rest of the schedule. They're going to definitely beat Clemson. If you did anything, you waved the flag at Clemson going, hey, we're actually a threat. You better pay attention to us. You better not play a flat game. Thank you for the forewarning. The question is, can you catch Florida looking? Can you catch Florida sulking about last week? It comes down to the defense. And I believe in a close game, I believe Florida wins this game 27-20 because of the defense. Because of the defense. Listen to me, you don't have to like my answer. But I'm telling you, as sure as ugly people look great in the dark, Florida's winning this game. Florida is winning this game. 27-20. Well, I'm Bobby Dirkens. Thanks so much for joining me for this. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notifications. And let me go ahead and tell you this. I got my video coming up. It's actually uploading as we speak. I didn't do a live stream on it. Clemson, Louisville, my predictions, my breakdown of the numbers. I'm actually giving away some poor winning lottery tickets. If you really want to win, I wouldn't listen to me because I hadn't won yet. Hit the subscribe button as I said. You can find me on Twitter at @BDirkens. You can find me also on Instagram at @TheBobbyDirkens. Every now and again, I give away recipes on the way, like my grandma's toenail pie. Keep her shavings throughout the year, and when it comes time for Christmas Eve dinner, she'd sear them up, put them on the coconuts. Nobody knew the difference. She saved money that way. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification. I'm Bobby Dirkens. You keep showing up. Lord knows I'll keep showing out. Bobby Dirkens.